Right then. So evening, all of you.
Hello.
Hello, Debbie. Roger. Hello, Lorraine. Hello, Becky. Hello, Rainey. Hello, Claire. Who have I missed out from there? Or haven't I? Hello, Alison, with us. Hello, Marie.
Hello.
Hello.
And then on the stream here, we've got hiya Jane, hiya Callum. And what's your partner's name so I don't have to say your partner? Hello, Jew. Hello, Donna. So we're going to be talking.
Jane. No.
I think I've said hello to Claire and Jane.
All right.
I think I did. Libby. Hiya, Libby. So we're going to be talking essential oils. And this was your idea, wasn't it?
It was my idea, yeah.
And you wrote Alison in.
Wrote Alison in because she knows more than me.
That's debatable.
I know a lot. I know if you put frankincense in your belly button, it's meant to give you a good meditation.
But he hasn't tried it yet. That he's going to do that on another.
Okay, Callum, if you've got any frankincense oil, could you just drop it in your belly button for us?
No, don't.
Yeah, you do. It'll send you on a journey, apparently, but I've not tried it myself. I've tried it with putting it on tissue under my nose, which I was told I wasn't meant to do because it can burn the skin. So
Yeah.
this talk should be quite good to stop you doing the mistakes that I have.
Yeah.
So, essential oils then, Alison. What are you going to tell us?
I'm going to start off very basic because it's too big.
What's your background with them, Alison?
I
About
went
20
to,
years ago.
yeah, I'm getting like Carol. It's over 20 years ago. I was at college and I did aromatherapy and reflexology alongside my full beauty therapy course. And I took a great interest in them because I do like to mix potions, and I've always done that before I even got interested in oils. So I thought, oh, that's the avenue for me. And I grabbed it with both hands. And I do like nice smells. And I like the thought that you could heal and help the body on a more natural, without sort of conventional medicine. You can do a lot with the oils as well. So it was right up my street. That's how I got into it. But I just thought tonight we would start very basic, because you've got to know what you're doing with essential oils. And you've got to get good quality essential oils. Anything that says scent of, I wouldn't go anywhere near it, because that is not going to be a pure oil. And you get the best benefits from working with the pure oils. And yes, they can run very expensive, but you only get what you pay for. And there's a lot of little starter kits out there with the basics, and then you build up your collection from that. So to start with essential oils, you've got to know what you're doing, because yes, on one hand they can heal you, but on the other hand they can be very toxic. So less is more in the essential oil field.
And more is more.
So Gavin needs to learn to take that in. So you get your oils. You've got to get your pure oils, good oils, and like I said earlier, anything that says scent of, don't. Then you get a bit like the perfume business. You get top notes, base notes, and middle notes in oils. Now your top note is a lighter note, and once you spray that and it's on the skin, it evaporates quick. The base note is the stronger one that you put in, and that's the that's what will last. That's the aroma and the smell that's going to last. The middle note is like an oil that combines the two to make the top note stay a bit longer, if that makes sense. So they all work hand in hand.
Yeah.
It's personal choice. Obviously, different oils do different things. And what I want you to remember is we're all different people, and one person might like the smell of that, have the same ailment. One person might like the smell of that, and one person might not. And personally, I believe that that's that person's body saying that's not going to work. So you've got to bear that in mind as well. You've got to be aware of what I call contraindications to using the oils, like people with asthma, people with diabetes, people with heart problems, pregnant ladies. So it's like all things that you've got to check it out from the doctor if you're not sure.
Yeah.
I would always get you to read what it's the directions from the bottle, not just go using it and just willy-nilly filling things up with essential oils
If
or
you're like
whatever.
me, you may need to buy a magnifying glass as well
Yes, to read
to read off the back of the
them.
bottle.
Yeah. There's charts out there you can get and references to what's a top note, what's a middle note, what's a base note. And obviously, if you've got pets in the house, you've got to be extremely careful because they can be very toxic towards animals. Things like eucalyptus, pine, what's the other one they say? Cinnamon. But be careful with all those around pets. And the other thing is, which we'll be talking about a little bit further on, is room sprays and things. You've got to be careful where there's pets because we can't see them, but the droplets that come out of those are airborne. They can land on your pets. Your pets can lick that and then they're ingesting it. And also with essential oils, there's only, I think, 2 what you can put direct on the skin, and that's tea tree and lavender. Lavenders, I would say everybody's got to have a lavender in their kit because it's a great for everything. It's good for burns, it's good for nausea, it's good for sleep, it's good for a multitude of things. So I would always have that in my kit. Like midgie bites, and if you ever scald yourself, if you get a vitamin E capsule and pop it, add some essential oils of lavender, just a couple of drops, rub it into the burn and the scar will lessen. So there's lots to learn about it. So we're not going to go into the in-depth, we're just going to basically tell you what to do. So then the next thing would be your mixing of the oils, because they've got to be mixed properly. And as we know, oil doesn't mix with water, so you can't use water. Plus the water won't stay sterile enough to stop bacteria and things forming. You can use vodka, but I think Gavin would think that's a big waste.
Yeah, well, I can tell you can't use ouzo with water either. It turns white.
So it's a good carrier if you've got nothing else. But anyway, it could run quite expensive. Witch hazel.
Should you always use a carrier oil?
Yes, you can't just put them neat on your skin. You've got to use a carrier oil.
Use carrier oil for everything, or is that only if you're putting it on the skin?
If you're putting it into a massage, it's got to be, that's the lavender. You can put that directly on your skin. You can rub lavender into your temples if you've got a headache. You've got to have a carrier because you're putting the mixture I like to do, so I don't forget, is 12 mils of a carrier, whether it be water for the room spray or whether it be in your bath. 12 mils of the carrier to 3 to 4 drops. Say we're doing a room spray, we'll talk about the room spray. 3 drops to 12 mils. And how I remember that is one and two add up to 3. So that keeps that in my head. But you can't say get 25 mils and put about 10 drops in and then put that into your bath if you're having like a therapeutic bath. You know, say somebody's got a cold and a bad chest, you can mix up something that's good
So
for
that'd be
that.
like 3 drops of top note oil, 5 drops of middle note oil, and 2 drops of base note oil.
It depends on your mix and what you want to do. It's a bit like a recipe. It's what you might pick out 3 oils, right? I've got that wrong. I would like that and I would like that. And then you work out. You don't always have to have a top, a middle, and a base note in. Like if you could basically just use lavender if you wanted to.
Yeah, it
So,
depends,
I mean,
what it's for. If you're going down the room spray route or like perfume and things,
yeah.
you'd want it to smell really nice and want the different levels, wouldn't you?
Yes, yes. And that's something that it comes with learning more about them and what they do and mixing the two together and creating something that's good for you. But to use an essential oil, it can lift the atmosphere in a room quite dramatically. So if, say for instance, you think, oh, it's a bit heavy, the atmosphere in here, and the kids are a bit ratty and this, that, and the other. You could mix up a room spray, just spritz it about a bit, and within, what, 15 minutes, you see a change. And I know it works because they don't know what I've done. So it's marvelous if you use them properly and you get good, I cannot stress enough, good quality oils, because there's a lot out there in the market that are just, they're made up with other things. Anyway, getting back to the mixing up, you can use witch hazel. Now, witch hazel, I know it's got alcohol in, but witch hazel is used in a lot of beauty products. It's used for the calm acne and all sorts. You can use it in, you know, aqueous cream. What you get, you can mix your essential oils in the aqueous cream as well. Say you've got sunburn, you could put it in the aqueous cream and rub it in, or aloe gel, you could put it into that. So getting back to the room sprays, you can mix your room sprays up. It's best if you keep it in like the blue cobalt bottle or a dark brown bottle, because that stops the sunlight getting to it. But once you've started using your oils, you tend to only use like the small bottles anyway, because you might want to change the scent of the aroma around the place. And I didn't know this over 20 years ago, because whatever. If you're making an aura spray to help with your meditations in the room that you're in, you can put crystals in as well. Or if you keep crystal charged water, you can use the crystal charged water in your room sprays as well. And I suppose you've got to be careful when you're thinking about what you're wanting to actually do. If you're wanting to ground yourself, because you've got to keep a balance, because you don't want to be going sniffing that frankincense too much or putting it in your belly button so that we've got to peel you off the ceiling, or you go into that spirit realm and you don't come back. You've got to have like a bit of grounding. It's like balancing things, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a big no-no is juniper oil with pregnant ladies. It can induce labor. Now, I used to think when I was younger, I wonder if that our mother's ruin, the gin, is infused with juniper, and I thought that's why they drank gin, to induce their pregnancies, to have their baby earlier. But I think I was wrong on that score. I found out later that mother's ruin was because they had siphons at the ends of the streets, and the women used to go and put their money in and get a cup of gin and come back. But it does pregnant ladies. So check the contraindications, check with a doctor that you can use essential oils, and also check that any medications that you're on won't interact with the oils. For instance, if you've got somebody with a heart problem and or somebody that's on sedatives and you give them a calmant, you could lower that blood pressure and things too low. So you've got to be careful. It's not something that you just play at. But for everyday use, you know, you're going to be safe with sticking to the guidelines, making your bottle up, spray it around the room. If you've got somebody that's got congested and they're cold, you can put it into a basin in the room with some hot water and get the steam off the water, and that's going to go around the room. But if you're doing that, don't have your pets in the same room because you're going to be using like eucalyptus and stuff. What else was I going to talk about? So we've covered some of the basics. Good pure oils. You get your starter kit. I've always got I take 3 little bottles in the car with me. I have a pre-mixed one.
Vodka, gin, and rum. Yeah.
Pardon?
Vodka, gin, and rum.
Yeah. One's one's calm, one's to reduce stress, and the other one is total peace. So I always take them with us. It's like my first aid kit. And I've seen them start to act up in the car. I've pretended just to spray something around, put the aircon on, gets to the back of the car, and then they calm down. Put like a lavender spray. They don't know I've done that. Yeah. You can make them up into little vials, if you like, with a carrier oil, like an almond oil. You can put your drops in there, 25 mils, so many drops, and you can take that with you. And if you're feeling a bit stressed, you can rub it on your pulse points, things like that when you're out and about. Lavender's a good one for putting on a tissue. If you say you're nervous about going to the dentist or something, put a few drops of lavender on a tissue or a hanky, and just every now and again have a little smell, not up your nose, just smell it and take some deep breaths, and you'll find it quite calming. A lot of people take lavender to travel because for all it calms you, it also keeps you alert in the car. It's just a really good all-rounder. But for your aura sprays, I would be using things that's going to balance your chakras and keep you grounded at the same time. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about some of them that you can use for the chakra balancing.
But have a look, because there are, you've got to check with your pets as which ones. I've named a few, but there's a few more. But there are pet products out there that do have essential oils in them, so they're properly mixed by experts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
If you want some of the things that they're dangerous for, so if you've got high blood pressure, you definitely need to avoid hyssop, rosemary, sage, and thyme.
Yeah.
Epilepsy, you've got to avoid fennel. Diabetes, avoid hyssop, rosemary, angelica, and sage.
Yeah.
And just common sense, if you're going out in the sun, avoid on the skin.
Lemongrass.
Lemon, lime, mandarin, orange, verbena, bergamot, angelica root, cumin, ginger.
Yeah.
But it's always best to test a little area on the skin first.
I would do that with anything. I would, if you're going to do a massage, put a patch test on, and if you haven't reacted to that, chances are your skin's going to be fine with it.
The main hazardous ones are bitter almond, arnica, boldo, broom, butchu, calamus, camphor, cassia, cheval, cinnamon, costus, elecampane, fennel, horseradish, mugwort, mustard, oregano, pennyroyal, pine, rue, sage, santolina, sassafras, sabine, savoy, tansy, thuja, thyme, tonka, wintergreen, wormseed, and wormwood.
All right. Well, I haven't worked with some of them. I like
Worked with tonka.
no. No. I like geranium. It lifts your moods. I like frankincense. I like myrrh. I love patchouli oil. Now that's a strong one, but be careful of that. Rose oil, I absolutely adore now. That's another thing with rose oil. It's very good for your skin. So if you put some rose oil in some water, you can wipe that over your face. It's very good, very moisturizing, very softening for the skin. Which other ones do I love?
Perfect for love and a peaceful home as well.
Yeah.
I think rose oil is one of the essential oils that can be quite expensive.
Very.
But
yeah.
You don't scrimp on it.
See, it'll be more expensive for certain oils, whether it takes more of an actual plant to get the oil extracted from it.
That's right.
Where
well,
more expensive.
That's where it's, because if you think about how many rose petals it's going to take to get the oil out of them, it can, per ounce, it runs expensive. It's getting trusted brands. It's like anything else you buy. There'll be a top market, a middle market, and a bottom market, if you like, for affordable things. Look at them and get the best one you can afford at that time. But it's got to be a pure oil. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and your money because it isn't going to do anything. And chances are you could have an adverse reaction to what else is in there to bulk that up. But there are some, I used to use Tisserand. I still use Tisserand actually. They're good quality oils. And the smell lingers the way. You can get those pre-mixed. They're in, you can get them in shower gels, you can get them in obviously bath salts, you can get them in body sprays, and you can, there's some lovely, once you can make up a bottle, there's lots of things you can expand on, like for the winter, for the summer, your feet get hot, you can make a cooling spray for your feet, and it's lovely, refreshing. Forget what I've talked about now. Is there anything else?
I think you're better off if money's tight, buying say 6 kind of core oils that cover most things, like stress or something to calm you down, something to lift your mood, something to energize, something grounding. Buy say 6 quality oils rather than a bunch of 20 cheap oils.
Definitely, and then you can expand on that, because
add to it as you go along.
When people might say they're always stuck to me, for me, what to buy you for Christmas, you just say, well, actually there's an oil I've been wanting, and you can build and keep them in a I keep mine in like a dark little box, and if I've used them when I used to do mixes, obviously your hands get covered in oil. I'll wipe them, the tops, before I put them back on. So that things like that, and it's just lovely. It just does such a lot. And what else you've got to remember is when you're mixing them, you can possibly, yourself, as you're doing something, if you can take another couple of little drops in it. But some people are more sensitive than others. So if you stick to the guidelines when you're sort of giving somebody something, or you know that you've stuck to the guidelines, you've done everything right, in case there's an adverse reaction. I know I've worked with oils, and there's one thing, and I love the smell of custard, and I love vanilla, and I like the taste of vanilla. But if I go into a house where somebody's burning vanilla, I'm ill instantly. I'm really ill.
Have you always been like that?
Yeah.
See, I like vanilla, and I like a tiny. I like the smell of vanilla,
Uh-huh.
but there's vanilla sprays and perfume. They
I
can be
can't.
really.
Yeah, they make you what, grumpy?
No, it makes me feel poorly.
Yeah, my daughter-in-law.
I couldn't say I don't like the smell. It just makes me feel poorly.
Yeah, I feel. My daughter-in-law loves vanilla, and she puts the candles on. When I went in, I goes, "Oh, I'll have to go outside." It just gets to us. But she still burns them when I go. So I don't moan, I don't say anything. But no, it makes us physically ill. I start getting a headache, I start getting lightheaded, I start feeling sick, I don't feel well at all. Got to get out. And I love when I'm cooking with vanilla, I love the smell of vanilla. So you'll find that with different people, they'll be affected in different ways. And like I say, what Gavin mentioned there before, you've got to check their health conditions, especially if they're taking certain medications. I can't think of the word for antipsychotic drugs for people. I mean, you could really send them absolutely crazy because you can't react that medicine and you've done damage. And like you say, the blood pressure, diabetes, other heart conditions, other things. Because essential oil, which I forgot to mention earlier, essential oils break down enough to enter the bloodstream from your skin. They're going direct into the bloodstream. And when you get really good with essential oils, you can actually take them as a medicine. I haven't been that brave because I'm quite a sensitive person, so I'm careful as to what I put in.
I know. What would you have said the shelf life is for mixed oils? Because I know essential oils are volatile compounds, but you've already mentioned keeping the essential oils in a dark place. So if you keep the essential oils in a cool, dark place, probably even a dark bottle or in a box, and tightly sealed, would you have said that they'll keep for several years?
I wouldn't want to keep mine for several years. I would say because of what they're made of and what it depends what you've put them into, they would last a long time. But I know by when I've got to renew a bottle, because when it starts getting down the bottle, I would think it's the air. I think when the air gets in the bottle, it starts to go a bit stale, if that makes sense.
So if you hadn't opened the bottle, you'd said it could probably last that kind of time. But the more regularly you're using it, the quicker it's going to fade, so to speak.
Yeah, well, the more regular you're using it, obviously you're touching it. You're touching the bottle. You don't know what bacteria is getting onto the top of the bottle, and as the bottle goes down, it tends to go. Do you know how if you've got an old bottle of honey and it goes a bit crystallized and?
Oh, it's lovely when it does that.
Yeah, and well, not the essential oils aren't. That's not good for that because when it starts going a bit like that, it's hard to explain. It gets like a certain smell. You can tell it's not right. You can tell by.
And you always keep them in a glass bottle.
I do mine, but when you're making room sprays and that, because they're mixed with other things, you can use a plastic room spray bottle. But
definitely don't use a metal container.
I've used a metal container to mix them in if I'm making a
Yeah, you wouldn't want to store them. I
wouldn't store them in a metal container. I've mixed them in a metal container because if you mix them in like a little bit wood, most of the wood takes it away, it soaks it up. So I mix it in like it's just a little metal pot, and then I pour it into whatever I'm going to use.
And if it was plastic, make sure it's hard plastic, not flexible plastic.
No. And the other thing to do is if you're reusing your plastic spray bottles, wash them with soapy water, then rinse them with hot water, and then totally let them dry out, because you don't want any bacteria forming where it, like the tubes where it could, water could sort of lie in there.
Yeah.
The other thing, which will come back, that was what I was going to say, you can use them for all sorts of things. You then get into beauty products, like there's some expensive, like body scrubs, for instance. Now, if you mix some ordinary sugar from the cupboard and you make, say, some almond oil, put your carrier oils in, mix the two together, you can use that on your body as a body scrub. I prefer
Can
the
you use
sugar.
almond oil as a carrier oil?
Yes. Sweet almond. Sweet almond.
Grapeseed oil is thinner, carrier oil, isn't it? So that can make it good for massage, because the thinner the oil, the more it will absorb into the skin.
I find that it's the essential oils that goes into the skin, moisturizing, right? The most moisturizing one I find, if somebody's very dry skinned, I would use a sweet almond oil because it's very moisturizing. I'm careful with what oils I use. Well, I used to use on people's faces with very oily skin. The heat of your hands when you're massaging helps the oil be a bit more liquid as well.
Yeah.
But there's certain oils as well that people are allergic to. You've got to remember, like palm oil and some oils like that.
And nuts, if they've got a nut allergy.
Yeah.
And there's Alison with her almond oil base.
Yeah. We'll check that beforehand.
But I wouldn't use it on
Lots of
somebody with.
questions.
Yeah, that's why at the beginning I said it's not something that you just play with and just think, oh, I'll put so many drops in here and I'll do this and I'll do that, because you don't know what you're going to do.
Not for other people, definitely.
No, definitely not. I mean,
but you can use single oils, can't you? And you can create blends.
You do your blends, and that's all personal. You see, when you get somebody in for a consultation, you go through like a few questions and everything. You check your contraindications, you check their medical history, and all of this, and then you do a blend specifically for them.
Or for certain purposes, yeah.
Yes. Now, Aidan, as you know, is constantly crippled with pain. And one night I've mixed up an oil. I thought, right, I'll get him a good sleep here. So I mixed up some oils and what have you. I gave him a double whiskey, lay him on the bed, put some chill out, really relaxing music on. I fell asleep at 9 o'clock at night, and he didn't wake up till about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And he never budged, he never changed position or nothing. And he woke up and he got such a shock, and I says, there you go, I've got you to sleep. I says, so you better not vex, not being long together. I said, you better not. I did reflexology on his feet as well. And I says, you better not vex us, or you'll not wake up the next time.
Because you've got some blends, haven't you, you were going to recommend?
Not necessarily blends, just oils that I like. Well, actually, I've just found jasmine oil. Somebody else recommended it.
That's lovely.
Jasmine oil has a sweet smell, and it's great to help uplift moods. In fact, it's often considered as a good aphrodisiac. It helps open the heart chakra, relieve worry, anxiety, and stress, and it leaves you feeling more positive. It promotes self-love and acceptance, and it can aid peaceful sleep. And jasmine is very effective in aiding spiritual and angelic connections, which is why I'm interested in it. So I'm going to be working with that a lot.
You could make your aura spray with that.
Yeah. And lavender, like you said, it's a good all-rounder. Relaxing and stress-relieving properties, eases tension, brings balance, stabilizes the mind. It offers clarity and insights. So like you said with the lavender, it's relaxing, but it, you know, you kind of stay alert with it as well. It's not too relaxing.
That's covered in one of my blends as well, a couple of my blends.
And yeah, it's just good, very good calming oil.
Great for the third eye, along with lemon and rosemary.
Yeah, I know I got one of the humidifiers for my son's room. That's how I started with the essential oils a few years ago, and kind of put different blends in to try and help him out with specific issues, and it really, really worked. And then I used to clean his room out when he was at school, clean his room out, and then stick some really strong like peppermint and lemon and things, strong cleansing, bit of sage oil, and just shut the door and stick that on while he's out. Kind of cleanse the air.
I made a spray, you know, when they get headlights going around the schools.
Yeah.
I made a spray with tea tree oil in, because that's good for that, for stopping them wanting to go into the head.
Yeah. Rose oil, very uplifting. It can help you let go of self-sabotaging thoughts and overthinking. Helps clear away negativity. It can assist in overcoming emotional issues such as anxiety, grief, low moods. It's very good for connecting to angels, guides, and ascended masters.
And great for the heart chakra with neroli and rosewood.
Neroli smells like I haven't got that one.
Oh, lovely. It's earthy.
I was say, oh, it's earthy.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't know, I just got a smell of like earth.
Yeah.
And sandalwood, that's one of my favourites.
Good grounding.
Yep, and it also helps lift confusion and brain fog. Helps focus if you need to concentrate on something specific, study, or it can help in meditations. It can calm nerves and anxiety, and it's very protective and helps expand your awareness spiritually.
It helps you bring the information back down to here and now.
Yeah, you've got to ground that in when you're making the higher connections. Yeah. Chamomile scent is refreshing whilst also relaxing. It helps clear the air energetically, which makes space for positive uplifting energy to come. It can help with peaceful sleep.
Chicken pox.
True, yeah. And it's very comforting if you're feeling down or a little bit lost or lonely, chamomile.
That's lovely.
Tea and things as well, haven't you?
Yeah. I've got chamomile grows wild in my garden, and it just sprouts itself all over.
We have some jokes about camels as well, don't we, Alison?
Oh, I don't, you do. My jokes are clean.
So what you mean?
Rosemary, the energy is quite rejuvenating and boosts your sense of personal energy and vitality. It can help reconnect with your soul self, I think, and realign with your spiritual path if you've been feeling quite disconnected or just lacking the confidence to move forward. So obviously you can see from what I've written, I'm very focused with the essential oils on how they help spirituality and development and things. That's really, you know, my interest, more so in them, or how I've got into them in the first place.
So we'll talk about some blends shortly with regard to spirituality to do with the chakras, which can help the chakras.
There's not many more, but don't worry, I'm not going to bore everybody.
You're not boring everyone.
Eucalyptus, it's got a clean, fresh scent. It helps clear the mind, and
Eucalyptus.
if you take time to enjoy the scent, breathing calmly and deeply, it can leave you feel quite refreshed. It can also clear sinus congestion from a physical point of view, so that's handy.
With eucalyptus, if you've got a eucalyptus tree, could you add those to a carrier oil and it would take the essence of the eucalyptus straight in from the leaves?
Some people, when they're doing the room sprays, they put other things in, like the dried rosebuds and that. I think it's more for aesthetics than anything else.
Because they're extremely strong, the leaves.
I think it would, some of it would soak into the waters. It would definitely, because I remember as a kid, so it shows you how long I've been mixing potions. I'd go around and pull all the petals off people's rose bushes, and I would sit and chop it up till I got the juice out the petals. Then I'd put them in a jar and add water, leave it for a couple of days, and it took on a bit of a scent. Because I'll never forget this one kind lady down the street. She was the only one that bought a bottle of it. So like I say, it's just touching things today. I have just try to keep people safe and give them guidelines on buying, good stuff. And then, like you've discovered, there's a whole array of things it can actually do. Because when you think about it, they've come from nature, and there's nothing better for us to get back in touch with more natural things.
Yeah.
That's how they used to heal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I quite like the essential oils. I mean, we've got most of the tip-up ones, and it's kind of like you're waiting forever, and then suddenly loads comes out.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can buy them with the droppers, can't you?
You can buy
a lot more precise for if you're going to make something, like a room spray, or I don't know, much better for measuring.
Yeah. If you do get one of the bottles where they do have the droplet, where you can count,
Come
don't
on.
remove that cap with your teeth. I'm talking from experience.
Use a fork, a prong of a fork, and the pop out. Because I like to use the little pippets.
And wear glasses, you don't flick yourself in the eye.
Oh my God.
And wash your hands afterwards. Because if you go out with lemongrass and it's on your hands, it's photosensitive. You can get nasty burns and rashes.
And I believe you'll also attract the ducks if you go to feed them.
So just try a few things out. Try a few already blended ones from Tisserand. I think that they do little packs of 3, and see if you're suited to having these smells around you. Because a lot of people, if you think about it, you're affected by smell. Well, I am.
Yeah.
But it just keeps going and going. There's just so much you can learn from it, and I like to mix up the different smells.
So even using a diffuser when you're blending, you should theoretically leave it 2 or 3 days with the oils on the water so they actually blend together before you even use it in the diffuser. But most of us are impatient, so we just do it there and then and let it come up separately, but they will merge to one to another, won't they? If you prepared it in advance.
Well, I think the oils will merge together, but
Yeah.
the oil merge with the water still very well.
The oils will merge on top of the oil, on top of the water.
Yeah.
Which they can combine and harmonise with one another. So you can get a much better smell from the diffuser if you do that.
Yeah. It's the alcohol what breaks down the water a bit to get the oils infused into the water.
Would you use a carrier oil for a diffuser?
I've never thought about putting it in that one that you've got. Like, I bought one as well. I put oils. I mix up an oil. See, I mix up a batch of oil, and I drop it in. You know the ones where you get the wax melt burners.
Yeah.
I put it in there, and then I add some water from the kettle, some hot water from the kettle to get it started, and do that. Because otherwise, if you just put the oil in, it burns. which I would think of the way these modern diffusers work, they're made to be used with water. I think the oil would be too concentrated, it would burn.
I didn't mean instead of the water, I just meant on top of the water. Would you use a carrier oil with the essential oils?
Oh, right. There wouldn't be any need, would it? Because the water's steaming.
So I thought you'd say, I just thought I'd ask, because you were the expert.
Well, like I say, it was 20 years ago, you know.
About 20 years ago.
About 20 years ago, yeah.
About 20 years ago, it was a good idea to put it in your belly button.
Actually, it's more like 30 years ago. I was 31 when I did my course. What the heck?
So what other oils have you got there?
I've got lemon, which is a refreshing scent. It stimulates ideas and problem solving. It can help feelings of lethargy as well as uplifting your thoughts, and it can help you feel more alert. So lemon's definitely not really a oil for bedtime.
No.
Ylang ylang.
Oh.
Apparently, this one can help calm irritability and frayed nerves.
Mm.
And it soothes the mind, the emotions, and the soul. It's also thought
as an aphrodisiac as well.
to be an aphrodisiac. Are you reading my notes here?
No.
So don't let Gavin be mixing that up then.
It also has qualities that are perfect for self-love and relaxation. It's a good scent to have around when you're taking a bath or to have in the bedroom. It's quite uplifting and it can make you smile for no reason.
Oh, there you go.
Quite uplifting.
Do you ever use essential oils in the bath?
Yeah. I mix up, I put 10, this is my personal recipe. I put 10 drops of essential oils of my choice, depending on what I want to smell. And I put it in a carrier oil, and I run it under the bath of water. You'll get the little bits of oil on the water, and then as I'm sitting in the bath, I rub it into my skin. So the steam and rubbing it into my skin's good. Some steam rooms put eucalyptus in their steam rooms for to help with the clearing the chest and things.
Yeah.
So what carrier oil do you use for the bath then?
I use I like not the olive oil you cook with. You can get some thinner olive oil from a chemist. Comes in a smaller bottle as well. I like olive oil. I like vitamin E oil. That's a favorite because the vitamin E is good for the skin as well. So say somebody had a skin problem, I would probably have a tendency to mix their mix up in a vitamin E oil because it's good for scarring. It's good, you know, if somebody's got acne, I would use maybe a vitamin E oil, not the almond oil. It's good for if you've just had an operation, vitamin E and lavender. And what I would do there is I would just buy, go to Holland Barrett and buy some vitamin E capsules and pop a capsule, put the vitamin E oil and then rub some lavender in on the top. And that lessens the scarring. It's good for chicken pox, as long as your kids are okay with the oils and stuff. It's good for chicken pox to stop the scarring and things like that. And it smells lovely when you've had a bath with your oils. Your bathroom smells lovely for a couple of days.
It'll be a bit slippy though.
Well, you're only putting a little bit in. Yeah, you have to give your bath a good wipe out afterwards. But
So the other thing that I was going to say was, I'm presuming that people are going to potentially have a go with essential oils for themselves and for their own use. That gives you opportunity to trial different amounts of oil, different blends and things. Obviously, if you want to go on and make these oils of any sort, whether that be to go on the skin or a room spray or whatever it is, if you want to go on and do that, you really want to look at doing a course on it.
Yeah.
Just to be safe if you're going to, you know, sell things or do it for other people. Really, you want, you know, qualification and some insurance behind you.
Yeah.
But for personal use,
Yeah.
obviously, have fun with it, be safe, learn about it, research, you know. And
so I will give you a little bit of knowledge with regard to some. I'm not going to go through many. Some essential oils started with for singular use. So ones where you're not necessarily going to be wanting to rub on the skin, but you might want to be having the scent around. So, for instance, cinnamon. You've mentioned cinnamon already, haven't you? Well, Alison definitely has.
Yeah.
So cinnamon, if you're after trying to attract abundance into your life, well, attract anything into your life, even love, cinnamon's very, very good. Ginger, if you're trying to speed up the results to something, so you're going to need the intention here already in your mind. So if you're actually focusing on something, so it could be used for a meditation. If you're trying to then speed up results for something to happen, ginger. If you're worried about protection and negative energies, you want to keep them away from your home, or you're worried about negative energies in your home, one of the first things you're all going to reach for is sage. But did you know blueberry as an essential oil in a diffuser will keep negative energies away? Coconut, likewise, you could mix coconut with blueberry because coconut can bring purification and protection. If you can get honeysuckle, that's brilliant for good luck, as well as strengthening psychic abilities. Jasmine, combine that with honeysuckle, because jasmine brings luck around as well, and it can also help with love. Musk, courage, strength, and it's a good one for the bedroom as well, along with the ylang ylang, because it can heighten sexual passion. Purification and protection. Patchouli, attraction. Pine, gain strength, and it also repels negative energies. Rose, perfect for love, and it can bring peace in the home. Sandalwood, that's probably one of them if you're walking that you'd need on your first list of oils if you haven't got any. Sandalwood's brilliant as an all-purpose scent for healing and protection. And you can use it in other things that I'm going to say in a moment. Strawberry can bring love, friendship, and luck into your life. Tangerine, abundance and prosperity. And vanilla can enhance your memory and apparently stimulate sexual appetite as well. But they're just a few with like their single uses that I'm mentioning there. Regarding some blends, if you wanted to know some blends for the particular chakras, for the root chakra, it can be suggested as sandalwood, patchouli, and cedarwood. Sacral, ylang ylang, jasmine, and mandarin. Solar plexus, bergamot, cypress, is that cypress or cypress? Cypress, and ginger or cinnamon. So solar plexus, that was bergamot, cypress, and ginger or cinnamon. Heart, rose, neroli, and rosewood. Throat, so if you, as well as just being for the throat chakra, if you're struggling to get things off your chest, then sweet orange, lime, and chamomile. And your third eye, lemon, lavender, and rosemary. Your crown, neroli, geranium, and frankincense. But you can use these with the carrier oil, make up a blend, and actually rub them onto the particular chakras. Okay? As well as just having them as a scent through a diffuser, so to speak.
You can buy little bottles with a roller ball in.
Yeah.
You just roll it onto your pulse points. They're very good.
See, if you were a healer and you're doing Reiki on people, it's in person. If you knew the client well enough before they arrived, and there's a certain issue, you could have a diffuser burning with the essential oils for further support healing that you're bringing around for that person, if you know what healing you're bringing forward.
Mm.
I'll go through that one. If you were going to put it on the chakras, you can use like if it was for a single chakra, you can apply the oils directly on the chakra you're seeking to balance. And when I say directly, I mean once they're mixed. So, for instance, you'd mix 2 drops of up to 3 different oils in a 15 milliliter carrier oil. You'd anoint the chakra with the oil. Use only a few drops and apply it slowly in a clockwise. Most people would tell you clockwise direction. I'd actually say an anti-clockwise direction with your fingertips. Massaging the oil into the area in this way means it will get absorbed into the bloodstream and can stay in the body, working to balance the chakras for up to a week. So you could spend an hour for yourself, as long as a few days before you created the blends, going through the different chakras, rubbing those onto the chakras, which would greatly help with regard to opening the chakras for the purpose of development. Around the third eye in particular, if you were doing the crown, the third eye and the throat, can extremely help decalcify the third eye with the blends I've just given you.
Right, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Go on.
Go on then. So where are you going to apply your root chakra mix?
On my feet, not the anus. I just had memories of deep heat.
Uh-oh.
But if you wanted to treat all the chakras,
yeah, you can put that on the feet, or another good place for the root chakra, I think, is the knees, like the inside of the knee.
but if you were going to do all the chakras, start at the root and build it up to the crown, not from the crown down. Okay? There are some oils that overlap. Just remember that is the case. The last couple of blends I was going to just mention to you. If you were trying to attract love into your life, you'd want to blend equal parts of rose, lavender, vanilla and sandalwood and put it on your pulses, on your pulses before you go out. Shall I test Alison on what this one is? She should know.
What's that?
Right then, Alison, can you tell me all about Bendover oil, please?
Benzo.
Bendover oil. You remember what it's for? You have been taught this.
Bend
It's
over.
for breaking hexes. It's for breaking hexes. You anoint candles with it, so I won't go into the detail of that, but I just wondered whether you remembered.
Oh, I thought you were. Well, yeah.
You had a rude mind then.
I did.
And if you're after trying to clear some obstacles out of the way, okay? You'd want to have almond oil as your base oil. I don't know whether you can get oil of coffee, can you? But if not, coffee grounds would work. Avocado oil, coconut oil, 3 drops of each, palm kernel oil, a pinch of sugar, and a dropper of rum. Keeping that then on a item, say you've got a bag of crystals in your pocket that was trying to do the same, creating opportunities. Put that carrier, those oils, that mix. So this isn't going for your skin. It's to increase the intention and the power of what you'd be calling in with the crystals, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay. And that makeup there is called a legba oil. And if you're after, again, something which you could use as a room spray for protection, or wear as a perfume, or anoint charms to protect yourself from negativity, You could blend equal parts of sandalwood oil, frankincense. Can you get sage oil, or would you have to use sage?
You can get sage. You can get
oil,
sage and clary sage.
patchouli, and gardenia.
Oh, nice.
And that is for protection. I'm missing something that I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. So what are your blends that you're going to recommend then, Alison?
Depends what I'm treating. Like before, when Marie says geranium is very uplifting, I'd put that in with some lavender and maybe a drop of and then if I
sorry, go on, Alison, sorry.
The geranium and the lavender work well together. I like the two. I like the smell of them both together, as long as you don't let the lavender overpower. Otherwise, you get the lavender coming through. You want to be able to smell the other oils. So then you just check. It's tweaking it. Patchouli is a very strong oil, so you want to be careful not to overpower the other oils with that. Frankincense is very well, frankincense is a lovely smell, and neroli.
I love frankincense.
Yeah, neroli. I think you'll probably like neroli as well. That's really good.
Inhaling frankincense can really take you on a meditative journey.
Yes, because that's going to heighten your vibration. Now, I've never done it. I've never gone into my oils with the spiritual thing, but I would imagine frankincense is going to heighten your vibration, and some lavender will keep you grounded.
It's a very mild hallucinogenic.
Good God, and look how much you were putting into that diffuser. We'll put a bit more in, we'll put a bit more in. And then he's going around the room as if he doesn't
That's
fly.
That's what Carol told me to put in my belly button.
He normally flies around the room like a Duracell bunny anyway, but he's flying around going, oh, that smells lovely. Oh, that smells lovely. And then, I'll just put a couple of more in.
We go mad with the frankincense burning on the charcoal disc, don't we?
Yeah.
Mm.
It doesn't smell as nice, actually, the frankincense resin.
It did when the discs have got older. We need to keep them in a sealed box. As the discs have got older and slightly dampened, it's not been burning at a higher temperature.
Right.
And it's taking ages to burn off of there.
Musky,
and it's musky,
yeah.
So it's not the resin, it is the discs. Right. But if you use essential oils in collaboration with colour therapy or healing. See, say you're using colour yellow to enhance the solar plexus. You could pick essential oils that come from flowers or herbs that are yellow. If you were trying to ground more, you could gain the strength from using essential oil as well as wearing red. You could choose essential oils from flowers or herbs that were red. Some would say you could also use that for the heart, and that'd be personal preference, but you can use essential oils in combination with other healing forms. So like we've already mentioned, with Reiki, with intentions with crystals. So the more you combine anything in the universe, so the more we combine healing modules.
Yeah.
Multiple intentions in different ways. That's enhancing the intention even more. So if you're trying to attract love into your life, for instance, probably what people might find the hardest, then go with the colour, go with the essential oils, go with the crystals, and it might not be the oils to put onto the body, although you can. Could be to put onto the crystals, so you've got the scent that's continually there. So the more ways you pull in the intention, the more that you're going to put the stronger magnetism, and the faster you're going to manifest.
You might as well. We might
go with it.
Yeah, we might as well add some batch flower remedies to that as well.
Because you see the smell, once you get the smell and you know you've already got that smell for that purpose, when you smell it, it's going to reaffirm into your mind what that smell was for. To keep you on the positive path. So we've got sight is a strong smell, a strong sense. Nose with scent, with smell is a strong sense. So then we're backing it up because we've got a smell, we've got a sight, and we've got a vibration as well, which is our physical that we're bringing it in. There's more than one way that we're remembering if we're carrying those or having those around us.
Well, if you think about it, there's often a smell that you smell that can transport you back to childhood. So if you think that, if you can think how, well, I'm not thinking of pooey nappies. If
you said
it. You thought it.
I did.
It can transport you back. So once you're in tune with your oils and your mix, and wherever you smell that smell, it's going to bring that effect on you, isn't it?
Yeah. But whatever essential oils you're going to use, read up about them first. Check whether there's a problem with using them around animals, whether you can use them on the skin. Okay, because there's more. We've only discovered briefly this much of essential oils when there's this many. Okay, so you might be drawn to others. Just check. The internet's there. Research. If you're really struggling, I'll send you Alison's email address if you message me. Right. No, I don't mind sharing my knowledge of what I do know, but I don't know everything. So if someone's really struggling to find something out, I'm more than happy to try and point you in the right direction a little bit more. But just do your checking.
And you can get essential oil or aromatherapy jewellery. You can get, I've got a necklace on at the moment, that you put the small discs in.
Yeah.
And you can add essential oils to the lava beads as well.
I will say you can buy blends of oils, but if you've made it yourself, it truly will be stronger, even if it's not stronger in scent, because it's got your intention on it of what you were making it for.
Once you get into
it, will make it far more powerful for you if you've made it yourself and mixed them yourself.
It's like pine. Pine and eucalyptus is good to put in your water when you're mopping the floor, because it's a natural disinfectant.
And it wards away evil.
Yeah.
It's just like making a drink at home, isn't it? If your intention's there more, it's stronger, isn't it, Roger?
And now if you look at the beauty creams and cosmetics that's out there now, they're putting a lot more natural ingredients into things, but however much is in there, because if you read the back of a cream or something, the amount of chemicals that's in there, yet you can mix things from it's like when the baby had his bad eczema, I was putting some oats in a muslin bag and letting the bath water run through it to get the oat water.
Will that work with psoriasis as well?
The oat water will calm it. Psoriasis lavender's a good calming one for psoriasis, but there's a few other ones out there. But you've got to make sure you do a little patch test first that you're not going to make things worse. And I'd be careful where there's open wounds. I would probably just use a lavender, because that won't affect the open wound. It will help heal it.
So don't patch test near your private parts.
Oh God, no. No, if you're going to have a massage with each other and you're mixing up the oils and setting the ambience and that, be careful what you touch.
Don't have too strong eucalyptus.
Definitely not.
If there's a slight breeze.
You can use them for all sorts of things. I mean, it's marvelous what's out there. Sometimes, like at Christmas, you want the house to smell like Christmas. You dab yourself a couple of essential oils, what you're not going to put on your skin, dab them neat onto some tissues and put them behind a radiator here and there. And then people come in, they go, "Why are you making a Christmas cake?" No, because the house smells like
Did you see
Christmas.
the translation? If you put some of your meat, MEAT, behind radiators on the subtitles.
They put it neat on a cotton wool. That's another thing. If you mix an oil up and if you're nervous, right? If you put some lavender oil on a cotton bud, this is for the ladies, and you pop it in your bra, you keep getting a little bit of aroma from that, the heat of your body on the cotton wool, and that's say, going for an interview or you've got to drive somewhere you've never driven before, just pop a little cotton wool ball in your bra with the essential oils on, and you're getting the smell from that.
I know why it's just done that. So surely that's not a good idea if you sweat easily, though.
You sweat easily.
Because then it's going to bead down over the oil. You'll end up with a wet patch on your blouse.
That's how a lot of women that's sensitive to perfume sometimes put their perfume on a cotton wool ball in a little cotton bag and put it in their bra, and they still smell nice without it touching their skin.
Good idea. Let's try that. But have any of you got any questions that have been listening? Anything you wanted to ask? I think I've gone through the questions that have been asked at the moment.
It's like I said earlier, it's just an informal, just casual chat, and I've never even read up on any notes. I've just gone from memory and stuff. But there's so much more you can use them for.
I've been using